Yeah, what's up? Beast Boxing Basement in the house, Triple B. So please like, of course, the usual stuff. Comment, share, donate, all this kind of thing. Subscribe if you like. Yo, the world, the fighting world gets more and more ridiculous. I mean, we know that anyway. I mean, Turkey al-Sheikha has managed to bring some decorum to the boxing world, certainly. By splashing the cash, but making them big fights. Bring it on, I say. But yeah, there's, we've had, what is the rise of celebrity and YouTube fighters and so on now. Like these things was, well, not YouTube, but certainly celebrity fights and weird fights were happening for ages. Muhammad Ali, yeah? He had a 15-round fight with Antonio Inoki, who was a wrestler. All Inoki did was get on his back and kick at Ali's legs. Ali was wearing gloves. I mean, there's some silly rules. I'll probably do a video on it. But imagine having to sit through 15 minutes of a guy on his back kicking Ali in the legs, and that's it. I mean, that was an early MMA fight. Also, Ali fought he fought this guy who is an NFL player, but he's known to be tough. Oh, yeah, Lyle Azaro was a known tough guy. He didn't do badly, actually. I mean, it's an exhibition. Muhammad Ali also fought one of the top Russian Soviets at the time, amateurs. So it's been... and before then, they had Chuck Wepner fought Andre the Giant. So they've had these silly matches and celebrities matches, There's one guy who I think I've got to find it. I read it in Boxing News. It's something crazy, like this guy... This army officer, posh army officer, had a World War I. Decided, saw some British guy get whacked out. I think it was a European Championship, light heavy or something, and thought it was so disgraceful. He wanted to have a go himself to show he could do better, even though he hadn't really boxed, and he got whacked out and around himself. I can't find the guy's name. I've got to do a video on it, but it's pretty crazy. I think the guy, did he fight Georges Carpentier? It was like something nuts, a top guy like Georges Carpentier. This guy never really boxed. He got whacked out and around, but lasted longer than the pro. But anyway, so there's always been these kind of nonsense fights, but they're really grown it now, especially the over 50s. What's the other one? Sorry, the Foreman, 5 guys in one night. They have had, that was boxing, but they have had novelty fights, and for years. But obviously it's blown up now. Why? Well, social media, internet, all this kind of thing. Fake beefs, right? And, we've had Roy Jones, Mike Tyson exhibition was dreadful. It looked like Tyson, later said he was on mushrooms, but he looked like he was impersonating, a bad actor impersonating Mike Tyson badly. It was pathetic, awful. And obviously in lead up to the fight, he's as good as he ever used to be. And he got Tyson hit in the pad twice. Pathetic. Obviously. And then you've had Ngannou, MMA fight, having his first pro fight. Almost beating Tyson Fury and now fighting Gay Jay. I mean, it's ramping up. Jake Paul, right? And all these old guys that are meant to be fighting. Apparently, Gypsy John Fiore, who I'm going to shout out, buddy. I'm going to call him out. I'm sick of that bum. He looks so whack on the pads. I'm going to call that bum out. Embarrass him. Yeah, calling out any man who's 58 and all about I'm the baddest man. No, you're not. You're a bum. He's talking out Joe Egan, Mike Tyson. Tyson would certainly batter him. Egan would have to, if that terracotta-faced idiot can hold his hands up. Mike Theo would also batter him. This is how much of a bum. I mean, Gypsy John Fury couldn't even score stoppage in 13 pro fights as a heavyweight. Believe that, man. So anyway, they got this new baddest man over 50 tournament in the works, allegedly. It's not reported on very much, right? Yeah, it's a bit like, at this stage, can we take it seriously, And yeah, so this a couple of people on social media, like, organizations, accounts, not individuals, going, breaking, a baddest man over 50 tournament is currently in the works for December 2024 to be held in Saudi Arabia, per sources. That's a bit of a long time, man. These guys are over 50. They might be dead by then. Especially if they took the jibber jabber, believe that. And it would feature, 4 combat opponents over the age of 50, 2 semi-finals and 1 final in one night. I mean, it's vaguely interesting. Obviously, I wouldn't pay for it. I'd watch it. But let's see, who are these guys, right? Yeah, they're reckoning 30, 40 mil for the winner. I mean, blood clot, that's some money, man. Them Saudis change the game. I don't know, because they don't mention who is looking after the promotion. But there's no mention of Turki al-Sheikh, which he would be if he was. I don't think, to his great credit, His Excellency is interested in rubbish. He wants true boxing fights, especially the kings, the heavyweights. Yeah, You don't want to see no female boxing slap. Right? I'm a world champion. I'm a legend. Go and make me a sandwich, innit? Go and make me a sandwich. Believe that. Or, some celebrities fine. The Turkey wants real fats and big dogs. So hopefully, I don't know who's organising this, but they don't mention it, which is odd. Anyway, so now they've come up and they've revealed, who these guys might be. And you think, well, who would be the baddest over 50s? It's going to be a boxing tournament, obviously. So not MMA, but that. There's Big John Fury going to be there. Apparently, he's the baddest man over 50. The idiot, the clown, baddest man over 50. He's pathetic. He's an embarrassment. I hope one of these guys take him up. Tall out Carl Froch. Carl Froch should destroy him. A prime Carl Froch, or even a 47-year-old Carl Froch, weighing in at 14 stone, would destroy a so-called prime John Fury. Let alone now. Fury is such a bum. If you want to know how much of a bum he is, watch him on the pads or shaping up. He's a total bum. Yeah, but so these are the 4 names that are mentioned, right? And apparently 3 of the 4 men have verbally agreed. So number 1, you got David Tua, the Terminator. David the Terminator Tua. Now, back in the day, he was a frightening guy, a big Samoan dude. Very, very stocky, hard-punching. People call him the Samoan Tyson or the Kiwi Tyson, that kind of thing. And he had a similar style. He didn't have the explosiveness of Tyson, but he had a great chin. Yeah, he had a great chin. He did get knocked out at 17, quite spectacularly, but he's only 17 by Felix Savon. Yeah, check out this clip here. But Savon's one of the best, and Tua was 17. Your chin improves a lot. Tua was actually born in Samoa, Faleasiu, Samoa, if I pronounce that right. He immigrated to New Zealand, but them Samoans, there's not that many Samoans, but they are always bad and big. And Gio Pata is half Samoan. There's a country called Western Samoa, or used to be. They've changed it recently. Had only 40,000 people of it in Western Samoa. 40,000, 30 people of them were in the NFL. That's how serious you're talking about. If there were more Samoans, if there's in Americans? How many Yanks are there? 360 mil? If there's 360 million Samoans, the NFL will only be made up of Samoans with a white quarterback. Believe that. Or a mixed race quarterback like Mahomes. But yeah, Tua. So, he's got a good record. He's beaten a lot of guys. He KO Ruiz so violently in 19 seconds. He beat, some gatekeeper types. Darryl Wilson was considered a big prospect. David Eisen, a.k.a. David Izonra type. Oleg Muskayev, future heavyweight champion. Akibuchi outpointed him over 12. It was, So, but you go up and there's a lot of names. Hasim Rahman, KO'd in 10 in an eliminator. So he's beaten Rahman, Muskayev, future heavyweight champions. John Ruiz, future heavyweight champion. You get me? So he's beating them dudes. Nate Tubbs, who actually Tony Tubbs, his brother, who knocked out Cody Saunders in a big upset, KO'd in 2 by the big Samoan. So it goes on. Now, he eventually got a title shot, even though he lost to Ibushi. Eventually, he won an eliminator. I think he won several eliminators. He KO'd IBF regional titles, and he eventually got a shot at Lennox Lewis. He lost that clearly. That was a good fight from Lennox. Lennox did the right thing. I thought Tua would have a chance because mistakenly people call Lennox chinny when he's not chinny. He just has been chinned a couple of times by perfect shots. I ain't saying he no David Tua. I ain't saying no George Chuvalo. I ain't saying no Oliver McCall. But he has got a reasonable chin, Lennox. A reasonable chin. He was caught with 2 perfect shots. It happened, man. So he lost some points, but he got another eliminator. Two fights later against Chris Bird. I remember Chris Bird, a former middleweight. Yeah, a former middleweight who ended up winning a version of the championship. Again, he lost some points. He obviously had trouble against slick boxers, but Chris Bird is an ex-middleweight. You would have thought that maybe Tua would have closed him down. Tua, the first one to knock out the legendary Frez Okendo. I think he's still waiting for his world title shot. Michael Mora KO'd him one. Another former heavyweight champ. That's 4 he's beaten now. Yeah. But I think he only got his one shot at the title. He only got his one shot at the title against, Lennox. Chris Barrett, against Lennox, I think, and that was it. Didn't quite get it. Later on in his career, he started to lose, as often do. He lost to drew against Monte Barrett, then lost on points. And his last fight was a points loss against Alexander Ustinov. However, you have to know, in the 12th round of the first Monte Barrett fight, which was a draw, Tua was down and heavily for the first time in his career. But yeah, I mean, like Tua, man, this guy is not a guy. You want to walk into a bar like Once Were Warriors. I know them Maoris or what. Were they Maoris in Once Were? I don't know, whatever. Yeah, but still, man. You don't walk in any of them kind of Islander bars, blood, and get upset a man like David Tua. You get me? Because you ripping your head off, blood. Yeah, and, Tua's been showing his moves off. He got a grey beard. Yeah, so he seems like he's still a bit active. Someone you might have thought he might have become like up to 450 pounds or something like that, because, like a lot of them Islanders are big, yeah? You know what they say in them Pulp Fiction, yeah? You know when they say in Pulp Fiction? Yeah, I don't really like Pulp Fiction. Well, I liked it at the time, yeah? But Jules, Jules, what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, yo, you remember Antoine Rockamora, half black, half Samoan? You used to call him Tony Rocky Hara? Yeah, maybe. Fat, right? He goes, I wouldn't go as far as call the brother fat. I mean, he got a weight problem. What's the brother going to do? He's Samoan. And that's right, man. Samoan guys are big, blood. The Islanders, they're big, you know what I'm saying? They like their food, to get their food on too. Yeah. You know what David Tua's real name is? And if David Tua was fighting these days with maybe if he's fighting these days with David Greenblatt Diamante, his real name is Famuinia Tualatai Mafafu David Tua. That's what Greenblatt was said, because he gets turned on. Oh, I'm so special. I don't even need to look at my card. I know they Samoan name. But yeah, he was short ass as well. But again. Well, he's been invited to this 4-on-4 show. We'll see what happens. It's difficult to know what December 2024. Like I said, who knows if they're gonna be still alive, man. But I don't know. They need 3 months. Maybe these older guys need a bit more. But anyway, it's a bit of a weird one. Nothing's really confirmed anyway. But let's see who else there is. Yeah. So I mean, like we said, the other names in the box. Mike Tyson, of course, Mike Tyson, man. Of course, Mike Tyson. But the guy spends his whole time getting high, man. And, he hits a couple of pads. He's back to his best. I remember some idiot even said about Holyfield, it looked terrible on the pads before he got battered, by that MMA guy, Vitor Belfort. Yeah, but Mike Tyson looked awful in his... How long ago was the Roy Jones thing? About 3 years, it was awful. But, you'd expect him... He's still got some violence and some power in his shots. He'll probably juice up for it, no doubt. Yeah. Who would win, Tua or Tyson? I mean, it would have been an awesome fight in the prime. You know what I'm saying? They never met. That would have been 2 blockheads, I believe. Yeah. Certainly, the second career of Tyson, Tua would have won, because Tyson was a bit flaky then. He'd lose his rag when things were going his way. And I reckon they'd lock horns, right? And Tua wouldn't back down, and Tyson would start fouling. And, you remember Franz Alberto gave him a boxing lesson. People forget that against Tyson. Not only a boxing lesson, he was beating him up. So he got caught with that shot. So, yeah, I think Tua would have done him in the second career. Had he done him in the first, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Tua somewhat underperformed. But certainly I think that'd be a 50-50 fight. I just think it's a super style matchup. You got Lennox Lewis. I've never... Right, so Lennox's last fight was against Vitaly Klitschko. Now, Vitaly was having... I think that was his... I think it was 2 weeks before, wasn't he? Some guy pulled out. I can't remember who it was. Some guy pulled out. Mention me in the comments if you can remember. I don't like to forget things, but and then Vitali came at 2 weeks' notice, gave Lewis a really hard fight. Right, he got stopped correctly on a massive cut, horrible cut. It's the right thing to do, but what you notice is that Vitali had been giving him problems. Lewis was tired, man, whacked at the end. He was sitting down, he could barely get off his seat. Whereas Vitali had loads of energy, he was going nuts. Obviously, he had enough he would have had a second win there, whereas I don't think Lewis had, I mean, it's a fair win for Lewis because he bashed up the cut, but without the cut, would things have been different? I believe so. I believe Vitali would have stopped Lennox late. He had so much energy, if you noticed, youthfulness. He's jumping up and down, going nuts. Whereas Lewis is you can see he's really pleased he got caught off, and his mum even got Lewis said, "Nah, man, give it up." Lewis's mum, Denise Lewis, and because they were going to have a rematch, and I think Lennox must have known in his heart too. It's not just his mum, although he loved his mum, like a lot of Batty boys. He loves his mum. They put him on a pedestal, and then so. Lennox has not entertained a comeback since or any stupid talk. I think he's comfortable, financially. He's got a family, albeit, he's kind of a bit of a liar, really. It's a Philip Schofield type situation. They said 3 of 4 have agreed, and I believe the one that hasn't agreed, this is verbally, right, which means nothing at this stage. It's still a contract, actually, but... yeah, it's not really enforceable. But Lennox is probably the one who hasn't agreed. And then you got Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt is an MMA guy mainly, but he's known for being, exciting, violent, big Samoan. He wants to, he's called a super Samoan. And he was always exciting, wasn't he? And he did it all, MMA, boxing, kickboxing, right? He had 25 kickboxing bouts. I don't know under what rules exactly. There's a lot of different rules in there, but he fought all the guys. Look at him. Saint Michel, Gary Goodridge, Jerome Lobanes, Stefan Lecco, Mike Bernardo. Right? I'm not a big kickboxing fan. I know all these guys. Mirko Filipovic, that's Krokop, right? Stefan Lecco again, Jerome Lobano again, Ray Sefo went pro as a boxer as well, Adam Watt, Peter Graham, Ernesto Hoost, Peter Graham. I mean, come on, blood. He fought everybody. I mean, this is nuts. He even fought Ronnie Sefo, the brother, I believe. Nathan Briggs. He just didn't fight. I mean, come on, blood. That's just incredible. As I said, I'm not even into kickboxing specifically, but I can recognise all their names. Boxing. So he had a 4-fight boxing career, right? So he lost on points early on to some guy called John Wyborn. This is in 2000 or 1998. He lost to Joe Askew on points, a guy who really never lost. Sorry, he drew against Joe Askew, I think he's from an Aussie guy. Yeah, but he had one more fight and then just stops. I guess, sometimes you think, it's fair enough, well, he's unbeaten, why didn't he carry him? Well, sometimes you realise, I've reached as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to make much money. I'm not going to get to the big dogs. I'm not going to make much money, and I'm going to get my head beaten in, my brains beaten in. So it's a good thing to retire. Paul Galen lost in 6 rounds. Yeah, Paul Galen's a bit of a fraud. He's probably paid off there, Mark Hunt. I don't know. Maybe not. Paul Galen had some skills, but watch the awful fight. What is it? When he knocks out, what's his face? When he, what's that idiot's name? I don't know why I forget it. The creepy looking guy. Lucas Brown. He knocks out Lucas Brown in a round. That's very, very dodgy. Very dodgy fight, Galen. And then, so he's got 2 losses and 1 draw. And then he gets Sonny Bill Williams. Now he's that rugby player, right? And he's okay. He's okay. He shouts loud about being I don't know. He's a convert Muslim, and I think he's I don't know. I think he's half Maori, half white blood. I'm not sure. Anyway, Mark Hunt, and I said I'm gonna have one more fight, and he knocked out Sonny Bill Williams. This has been massive in like Australia and you know, Australia and New Zealand, right? But he knocked him out. I think Sonny Bill Williams was like a rugby reunion like legend, wasn't he as well? And like, you know, I'm not. But anyway, Mark Hunt battered him, knocked him out, and retired then. Yeah, I'm just looking at Hunt. And most of the stuff is K1. I really like K1. I don't think it's still going. I know I never followed it closely, but I like the K1. They were big men exchanging elbows, punches, shin kicks, violence. Nice. Nice. I like violence. Yeah, but in mixed martial arts, he done Pride. He done the Ultimate Fighting Championships. You know, so he's basically done a lot, right? He's done a lot. You know, he's classified as a brawler because obviously he's a stand-up fighter, which I like. You know, I don't even appreciate, man. Well, I appreciate the fact that you can incapacitate, man. But all that rolling around on the floor with another man nutsack on your nose. I haven't seen pictures of people with battle holes in another man's nose. That's not what it should be. We don't do that in the hood. Is what Bernard Hopkins says, and he's like the biggest clincher, and he was known as Soapy Bernard in prison because he used to rape people in the showers. Obviously, covered himself in soap. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. So he was a Mormon. A lot of Samoans are Mormons on there. I think the Mormons must have gone over there and converted them, but he's now born again Christian. So the mixed martial arts record was 13 wins, 14 losses. You know, so it's not the best, but you got to remember, right? In the MMA, like, you know, they'll fight a lot of even matches. It's not like boxing where if you're half decent, you will just get bum after bum in your early career. I'm not gonna go through it. You know, he's lost. You know, he wins, he loses. He lost over him. He beat the Black Beast Lewis. He no contested against Brock Lesnar, but that's because Brock failed a test for clomiphene. The same thing that Conor Bum failed. Conor Bum's banned me from his channel because I rinsed him so badly and asked him about whether he still beats his wife. Blocked me on Insta. What else? He lost to Stipe Miocic, Verdun. He beat Frank Mir, beat Antonio Bigfoot Silva. So he's always fought the top guy. If you go through Mark Hunt's kickboxing K1 and Mark Hunt's MMA career, all he does is fight top guys. Believe that. So now we go. I'm pretty much sure that because the money's not so good in MMA and K1 compared to pro boxing, you know, at the top, I'm pretty sure he's taking it on. To me, the only one that might be saying no or hasn't confirmed it is Lennox. I think Mark Hunt would be game for it. Like I said, he's a brawler. You know, Mark Hunt, Mike Tyson, David Tua, they're all about 5'10". They're all stocky, violent punchers. I'd love that, to be honest with you. Although I don't agree with all this over 50s thing. Obviously, I wouldn't pay for it, but I'd be like, yeah, come on, man, I'll watch it. Well, okay, let me repeat that. So let me change my mind slightly. If it was in their prime, you'd be like, blood clot. Although, you know, you wouldn't expect Mark Hunt to much of a chance in their prime because he's not really boxer as his first skill set, but... You know, let's imagine they were 40. Mark Hunt, David Tua, Mike Tyson at 40 years old would be worth watching. There is no doubt about that. At 50 plus, is they worth watching? You know, we'd have to see them. You know, see what they look like on the pads and stuff. You know, how old Mike Tyson? I mean, would he be the oldest one there? Mike Tyson at the moment is 57, right? Tua is 51. Okay, that's a big advantage for Tua. Lennox, let's have a look at Lennox. I think Lennox will be similar to Tyson, won't he? He's similar age, 58. So Lennox would be the oldest by a year. Mark Hunt, what is Mark? I think he's 49, something like that. So I'm looking it up. I'm sorry if you can hear it. Mark Hunt is 49. Okay. So what you're seeing a big advantage for the Samoan too. Mark Hunt 49, Tua 51, and then Lennox and Mike Tyson in the late 50s, 57, 58. Now that's a big difference when you're that old. You know, the difference between, you know, how you feel when you're 49 and 10 years later would be a lot. I mean, you know, Tua, huh? I mean, sorry, not Tua. Tyson, Lennox, almost 60, man. I mean, listen, what I'm saying is be interesting, right? Would I watch it? Yeah, I'd watch it. Would I pay for it? No, obviously not. Huh? Could it be embarrassing? Yes, very much so. You know, what would happen? I don't know. It depends how they look. I mean, again, I can't see Lennox saying yes. I mean, unless he's desperate for money. And if they offered him, like, I think they talk about 30, 40 million pound for the winner, but they'd probably just find another stocky guy. They could have 4 stocky bangers and, you know, and that's it. You know, it doesn't matter how old you, but they say, oh, the punch is the last thing you lose. That's rubbish anyway. But people, you know, become slower when they're older, so they carry on to sit down more, and they can't rely on their boxing skills. They're not going to be fleet-footed, so they bang more. So they, yeah, I mean, you know, it's another silly cliche, but you can still get the older guys that come bang. You know, Tua and Mark Hunt banging. You know, with Tyson, that would be pretty awesome. Lewis, yeah, again, I don't think he'd do it, but I mean, that's a completely different kind of style, and we don't know what the rules are. How many rounds? I think it's a competition. It's like 2 semi-finals and 1 final, which is great in the sense. So I reckon it'd only be like 3 rounds. That says to me 3 rounds, which would be, I don't know, man. I mean, it might be a total embarrassment. Like I said, if they're in their 40s, you're like, this is very interesting. Or at least 10 years ago, let's say. So, you know, Tyson would still be almost 50, and so would Lennox. But, you know, as I said, big difference in 10 years. Big difference. Anyway, so now, you know, that's enough about this. You basically talked about a rumor. Oh, the over 50s. But as I said, the funniest thing is, the hardest man, 50-year-old man, Big John Fiore, hasn't even been invited now. I wish they would. Although part of me thinks he doesn't deserve the money or the publicity. Yeah, if Lennox ain't doing it, and I'm pretty sure he won't, get in the Big John Fiore. You know, whoever's fighting Fury has got to buy into the final. You know what I'm saying? Because he's an utter bum. A total... I honestly think I beat him. Yeah? I honestly think I beat him. You know, I'm a bit overweight, but I'm 16.5 stone. Yeah? I can hit still. Huh? Yeah, that fat lump of shit had never stopped anyone when he was in his prime. In 13 fights as a pro heavyweight. Yeah? And I seen him hit. It's pathetic hitting the bags. I'm gonna do a video on it. I'm gonna call him out proper. Hitting the pads and all that. In shadow boxing looks awful. They would, any of them other 3 or 4 guys would destroy that bum Fury. You know. In fact, I would genuinely destroy that bum. Certainly. You know, I would do bare knuckle, or allegedly he's got 100 wins and 100 knockouts. We don't know that's a lie. As long as he isn't allowed to pull Breader's eye out, then I'll fight him. Definitely, he's a bum. Anyway, there you go. More silliness in boxing.